So, have I been mugged by the Scissor Sisters whilst in Barcelona? Do I own a piece of the original flooring from the Lead Mill, which was a music venue in Sheffield that was sold off when it was closed down? Or, as a young boy, was I chased out of a field whilst eating a picnic by a bull? I think firstly, and always the most important, is about getting the quality of the service that we deliver to our customers right and consistently right. The team that we've got a really, really strong team, and having a cohesive team that gets on and work well together is really important. And then thirdly, and this is something that we've seen accelerating more over the last 12 months, is about continuing to grow the business so that we can provide great service to even more people. Sport, cricket, football, rugby, standing up sports. Still do a bit of running. Used to play football, but too old now. I was brilliant, but no, I wasn't. Definitely music. Love live music. Really got back into collecting vinyl again recently. I don't have a third interest because those two take up all my time. And this is an almost impossible question to answer, because I think live music's very much about the moment. However, if you're forcing me to pick one, I'm saying Queens of the Stone Age at Glastonbury, closely followed by Radiohead when they did the OK Computer tour. I think completing the London Marathon, without doubt. It was such a challenge. It was the hottest one on record. I had a bit of a moment at 22 miles. I thought I'd been hit over the back of the head, but managed to get through it, and getting through my first ever marathon at 40 something was a great achievement. I think life's about balance. I've always been somebody that's worked hard, taken work seriously, and been really committed to work. It's really important to have a healthy focus on yourself and your family and your friends as well. And at the end of the day, if you're unhealthy and not well, then you're not putting yourself in the best place to deliver good work. I think the world's changed a lot recently, and I think there's a bit of a collision of the planets almost. The world changed through COVID. People's expectations changed. There's a new generation that comes into the workforce that thinks differently to people of my generation. And I'm not saying that's wrong, by the way, it's just different. Technology drives everything to be faster and more instant. AI has completely transformed the way that lots of people relate. And I think, generally speaking, the world is a bit more confrontational now. So I think the thing that has changed the most is the way that lots of employees interact with their employers. I did a bit of a Harry Kane there. Armed and driven by AI predominantly, and that can make it very difficult. It makes it more difficult for us as experienced HR professionals, but it certainly makes it more difficult for your average employer. No.
Why?
They're awful. Without doubt, get the right foundations in place. If you haven't got decent contracts, decent policies, decent processes, and the ability to have just normal conversations with your people, everything else becomes much, much more difficult. Do you really think it's going to be nightclub? Pub.
Pub. Why?
Pubs are nice and they sell beer. So there are two charities that we work with. Firstly, St Barnabas Hospice, which is a Lincolnshire-based charity that provides palliative and end-of-life care for people with life-threatening or life-limiting illnesses. Got a very personal family connection with St Barnabas, and it's a charity. Well, I've done the Great North Run over a number of years now, always raising money for St Barnabas. And we also really proudly work with Simpal, who are a unique charity in the UK, led by a fantastic guy called Chris Lewis, who is seeking to tackle digital poverty. And there are so many people in this country that don't have access to technology, mostly mobile technology that they need for everyday life, whether that's interacting with health services, housing, local authorities, for their children to interact and engage with their education. And Simpal is an amazing charity that provides devices and the SIM cards to enable those families to interact in the important things in life. Despite my innate love of pizza, and I do eat pineapple on pizza, I just want to say that, it would be, I love Greek food. Can't narrow it down to a particular dish because it's all delicious. What would make it special? It would be sitting by the sea, lovely warm weather, nice glass of wine with a beautiful Greek meal with great company. Stuart Pearce, greatest footballer ever. Dave Grohl, greatest rock and roll person ever. Prince, greatest musician ever. And because we'd need some sensible conversation, Nelson Mandela, because he's just Nelson Mandela. I think car parking. Car parking is one of those topics that some people get so irate about and other people really don't care.